Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is 𝗬𝗏𝗍, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. This is one of my collective readings. So I channel these readings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there is a powerful live premiered chat during those readings on those days and times. So if you feel guided to it, I would love to have you here. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and get into the messages. So throughout this reading, I will most likely be picking up on multiple different potential people, energies, threads of energy that may be connecting with you in some way. But I always recommend using your intuition. Really, these readings are just meant to be intuitive tools. So helping you to connect with what you already know for yourself and your life. So if something isn't matching or fitting for you intuitively, then just leave it here. Okay, so what can I channel for all of the beautiful souls tuned into the reading today? Okay, so I heard general energy. So this card is going to speak to the general energy right now. And there is this energy of renewal, of inspiration in a new direction. It's almost a feeling of being reinvigorated towards something, kind of like hitting the refresh button a little bit. So if you've been feeling inspired to some kind of goal or particular plan of action, or to put forth your energy in a new way, you may be feeling some of this kind of rebirth or renewal energy here. There's a lot of air sign connectedness to this as well. So you may be an air sign or be involved with someone who is an air sign. With the 5 of Cups in the upright position and the Empress, that's so interesting because what I was going to say is that this reading really feels like it's for a divine feminine collective that is really in their Empress era. And what I'm strongly getting is that there's this major pullback from certain people, things, places, and spaces in your life that have been draining your energy. And there's this return back fully to yourself. And this purity that's resulting from that, like a purification of your energetic field. I'm also feeling this refocusing, like you may be refocusing on some kind of, I'm hearing it may be a goal or a dream or desire you've had for a while, but you're bringing a kind of new energy into it because of this refresh button that's sort of been pressed collectively. But I do feel that there's a layer of grief with this as well. With the 5 of Cups, there's this feeling of you stepping out fully into your power, but there's some feelings of grief surfacing as there's a recognition of what you're leaving behind. There's this knowing that not everyone or everything can fully meet you in the most powerful version of yourself. And there is a natural kind of sadness that can come along with that knowing. And yet I feel like for the person I'm tuning into here, it's almost like there's this sense of lightness or relief, almost like a giant exhale that you're feeling, and yet you may be processing some of this grief of letting go of certain people, things, or connections that can't come here with you, if that makes sense. But it does feel very fresh, very new, very invigorating. I'm getting a very strong sense that for the divine feminine I'm tuned into here, there is this feeling of almost having a lack of interest or an apathy towards anyone or anything that can't meet you in a deeper place. There is this feeling of no longer really wanting to feed your time or energy into people or things or connections that are not supporting you, reciprocating with you, or seeing you fully. So what else can I channel here? I heard something about Mother Nature. Maybe you're connecting with nature. The Knight of Swords. Yeah, so this feels like you going through a spiritual renewal, stepping through the grief of knowing certain people and things may not be able to come with you, taking that knowing and refocusing your energy in a powerful way back into yourself, pouring into yourself, your creations, your life. And then things begin to move really quickly for you, but they're moving from the heart. I'm hearing the heart is the generator that propels everything forward. Staying connected to your heart is the key here, the key to keeping everything in rhythm, everything in balance, and continuing to progress your life forward. Now, for some of you, this could be someone coming into your life very quickly. There could be a masculine energy here who is approaching you or wanting to progress with you really quickly. Someone could be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Aquarius. We have the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. For someone listening here, you may actually have two different masculines in your energetic field that both want to offer you some kind of long-term partnership with the Two of Cups in the upright position. I feel like one of these energies comes from your past, and I'm hearing one comes from your future. So it's almost like one person is someone that you're very familiar with in this lifetime who comes from your past. The other person may actually be someone that you haven't even met yet, but I'm getting, even if you haven't met them, when I say they come from your future, it's almost like you've envisioned them in the future, like you've caught glimpses or flashes of this person's existence or of this connection that is going to be entering your life, even though it's technically still futuristic. And you've held space for it in a way as well, because I'm picking up that you may have actually not gotten involved with certain people romantically because you had an awareness that there was something big out there for you romantically, that there was this soul that you were connecting with in such a pure, deep, meaningful way that you were sensing. I'm hearing they may have set the standards for you subconsciously without you even really knowing them in the physical realm, because your soul knew them and your soul has had an awareness that they're going to be coming into your life. Wow, this is a very specific message. I know this won't be for everyone, but yeah, for some of you, there is this person from your past and this person that represents your future, and they're both coming in with an offer. And to be honest, both of these connections actually feel very warm, very grounded, very beautiful, very balanced. So I feel like there may be a choice to be made here at some point, but neither one necessarily feels like the wrong choice. It doesn't feel like there's a choice here that would be unbalanced for you. So I'm going to reshuffle the cards because I'm really, really curious about this. I feel like I may be connecting with a very specific collective here, so only take this if it does resonate with you. I was seeing something about the Wizard of Oz. Okay, so also just the name Dorothy, that may actually be connected to a relative for someone. Okay, we have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. Wow, okay, so I feel like I'm speaking to someone who's been tired of overextending themselves in love. And with the Death card, it's almost like you've reached a point where you're just done with that old cycle. You are completely unwilling to overgive or to overextend yourself to be validated or to be seen or to be loved or understood. You're no longer willing to trade yourself or betray yourself just to stay connected to another person. And I actually feel that for some of you, this has resulted in a period of time where you've been more alone than usual because you've preferred solitude over imbalanced connection. And that's part of this Empress era that you've been in. You've been unafraid to stand alone because you so deeply enjoy your own company. But then when you're kind of alone in that power, enjoying your own company, I see these two different kind of options or pathways coming in romantically. And again, one seems to somehow be connected to your past, whether it's a past person or something that you wanted in the past. The other seems to be connected to your future. So someone that maybe you've sensed but not met yet, someone who's going to help you manifest some kind of futuristic dream. With the Wheel of Fortune here, there's some major fated meeting coming up for you. I feel like for some of you, you are actually about to, or I mean, maybe this just happened, maybe it's recent, but for some of you, this really feels like you are actually about to meet someone who you're going to immediately recognize on a soul level. There's going to be a lot of clarity in this meeting. There's not going to be anything foggy or unsure about it. Your heart is really going to be sure here. This feels like something that is actually going to make a lot of things in your life and from your past, especially romantically, suddenly make sense. This person may be a fire sign. You're going to feel like this meeting is so magical or serendipitous that a part of you is even going to wonder, like, am I dreaming? Is this even real? With the Hierophant reversed, I feel like this person is going to mirror your unconventionality. I feel like you're on similar life paths and you're both choosing to live your lives unconventionally, but something about meeting or connecting with this person is also going to make it clear to you why you chose this unconventional path, especially in love. Why you could never settle for anyone or anything else. I'm seeing a hot air balloon here. And the Page of Wands. Yeah, I feel like this meeting is going to bring a huge amount of new energy into your system. It's also just going to feel very eye-opening in some way. Again, I get this sense of you having this, and this is crazy. I don't ever remember putting this card in this deck, but the soulmate card just came out from the traditional tarot card deck, which of course doesn't belong there. Ooh, doesn't belong there. Interesting. Maybe you always felt like you never really belonged romantically with anyone else, or this person felt that way, but that's because you hadn't met this true soulmate yet that you would connect with in this kind of way. Yeah, there's definitely a powerful soul connection here. I feel like this is going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced in the past. Not that you haven't had powerful soul connections, because I really feel that you have, but there's going to be like a warmth and a safety and a familiarity. Well, I feel you've had the familiarity, but like the immediate warmth and safety and the way that this person shows you on the surface, physically, viscerally, with their actions, with their words, with their consistency, shows you how they feel about you. It's going to be different in that way because yes, you've had powerful soul connections, but I feel that many of those soul connections have been familiar and powerful and intense, yes, but you've had to do so much of the spiritual legwork. You've been the one interpreting all the signs, understanding the connection spiritually, feeling all of it, whereas the other person has often been running or in denial, or there's been a part of them that gets intimidated by the connection. But this is a connection that's different because you're both like wide open to it, if that makes sense. I saw the number 444. Like this person is actually open and ready for it. That word ready is coming through really strongly. And I feel regardless of whether or not you choose this path or choose this person, with the Six of Swords, there's something very healing to your heart just connecting with them and meeting them. And I'm hearing this is a gift from the universe as well, that it's like the universe is sending you this person to show you how you really deserve to be loved, to teach you through experiencing this kind of love viscerally and externally through this other person, that loves like this do exist for you, these kinds of high-level soulmate loves that can fully hold you, see you, love you, care for you, and support you in this kind of way. This is someone as well with the King of Pentacles who seems to be very stable and grounded, able to protect you, able to provide for you, able to create that kind of masculine container in the physical realm that allows you to fully embrace your divine femininity, if that makes sense, to fully create, to immerse yourself in being inspired, exploring even more of the spiritual realm while feeling grounded by this masculine's presence and their stability. And there is something about that word presence. Like this is someone who has a very magnetic aura, very magnetic presence. They seem to draw a lot of attention to them, but they're also very humble about that as well. I don't see this person as arrogant, but they're also very present with you. This is someone who actively listens to you and remembers the things that you say and has this like beautifully strong presence around you. So I feel like when you meet this person, there's going to be this mutual feeling of being lucky, like you're both going to feel lucky to have met the other person. So, okay, with that being channeled into, I went to look at this other pathway, this person from your past. For some reason, the word teacher is coming out. Maybe this person from your past is your strongest soul teacher. Like you went through many lessons with this person. I'm hearing, but you graduated. It's like you graduated from these lessons. You and this person actually graduated from those lessons together. It's not that they were the teacher and you were the student exclusively. In many ways, you were the teacher and they were the student. It went both ways in a very like yin-yang fashion. This very well could have been a twin flame if you resonate with that term, having been part of your journey, because I'm getting this strong vibe of the two of you being mutual teachers, mutually uplifting each other, helping each other grow, but there being a lot of growing pains there in the past as well. But I really see this person beginning to have clarity and take accountability for ways that they may not have fully showed up for you in the past in the physical realm. Because while this connection was and is and always has been spiritually intense, I feel like in many ways it was lacking in the physical or left you at times feeling unsupported or ungrounded when it came to physicality or just being shown consistent romantic affection or attention on the surface. With the Seven of Swords reversed, I feel like this person begins to take accountability or already has been for the ways that they may have mistreated you in the past or the ways that they didn't show up for you fully. I feel them in a lot of pain over this as well when they have this realization, because they're realizing that they were acting out of their own wounding. And this person seems to evolve into that King of Pentacles as well. Interesting, we pulled that same exact card. So this is someone who is also in the process of, I'm hearing, creating their own empire so they can support yours, grounding and stabilizing themselves so they can be that stabilizing force in your life. What is this card that just flew out here? Yeah, this is someone who's been doing a lot of self-reflection, a lot of introspection, and I'm actually hearing the universe has curated their life and their circumstances for this period of introspection. It's almost like to some degree, they've been pushed into it through circumstances that may have been very difficult. I'm hearing they had to learn their lessons the hard way. They had to come to this place of self-accountability through a difficult pathway. And you may have had to separate from this person during that time or take some kind of break from this connection because you couldn't go through their lessons for them. You couldn't be the one to face their fears or fight their demons for them, however you want to kind of envision that. And so you felt the guidance from your own higher self and your spirit guides, whatever divine forces you connect with, to allow this person to undergo their own lessons, whatever those needed to be. But now I feel like they're coming to this completion point where they've learned a lot of those hard lessons. They've introspected on a deep level. They now fully realize your value and worth. I'm seeing the number 22. The number 2 could just be significant to you in general. And now with the 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, it's opening up the potential for some kind of harmonious reunion here. I'm hearing something that at one point you desperately desired and may have not thought possible. You may have thought that this union would never materialize, that there would never be a harmonious pathway forward here for you and this person. And yet they've put in the work here, is what I'm hearing. It was really up to them to be the one to put in the work, to be able to pave the way for this union. I feel like a long time ago, you did everything you could do on your end and kind of just surrendered this. You left it up to the universe. You kind of gave it up in a sense, or stepped away, or gave it breathing room. But now this person has done that work on their end, and it's been very difficult, but they've pushed through to the other side. Things are beginning to build a positive momentum in their life, and those positive changes are starting to really run deep within them energetically and to show physically in their character and their behavior. I feel like there's more of a softness about them, a strength, a gentleness. They're really being morphed into a true masculine leader here. And with the Moon card in the upright position, I feel like a part of you, even if you've stepped away from this, and again, this very well could be a twin flame for some of you, there's this feeling of, regardless of your level of physical communication or interaction with this person, you've kind of felt them like a spiritual thread deep beneath the surface. And with the Moon card, they've always been connected to your soul, to the deepest parts of your subconscious mind. That's like you connecting with their higher self, with their spirit, with their soul. I'm also seeing a tide, waves of the ocean kind of pulling in and then moving back out again. And I feel like that represents this connection, that there tends to be this rhythm to it. Sometimes I feel like you feel this person's energy pulling closer, and other times it seems to kind of ebb away from you. Sometimes you feel drawn into them, and sometimes you feel kind of repelled away from them. And know that that is actually your intuition. Every time you've kind of felt pulled into them, you've been sensing them healing and progressing. And every time you've begun to feel a little bit repelled, you've been sensing them kind of shutting off a little bit, or kind of in denial, or trying to shove down their own healing process. And of course, the process of healing and spiritual evolution is never linear. That's why you felt this ebb and flow within them. But overall, it is taking hold. Overall, they are growing, they are evolving, and those changes, I keep hearing that they're beginning to show in a way that you're going to either notice, or maybe you will actually interact with this person or communicate with them and viscerally have knowledge of those changes. And I feel like they're much more capable now with the 6 of Pentacles of having, I'm hearing, an earthly balanced connection with you, because you've always had this spiritual bond, but they're actually going to be prepared to offer you a connection that is more balanced in the earthly realm as well. Your intuition wouldn't allow you to move forward with this person in the past because you were repelled away from them, because you could sense that they were in that state of denial. They weren't doing their own inner work. But now lately, you may have actually felt a pull back to them. And if that's been the case for you, it's because you've been sensing those changes and shifts that have taken place within them. And your intuition is responding to that by causing you to feel drawn to this person again. This may even surprise you, like, why am I being drawn back into them? Why am I feeling them strongly again? But this isn't coincidental. This is you sensing that there is a reunion timeline opening up with this person that does have the potential to be balanced in the earthly realm. It's interesting because once again, we're getting the Page of Wands, which is a duplicate card to what we got when we channeled into that first pathway. And what I'm seeing here is that, yes, with the Sun card reversed, this has been delayed. There has been a period of inertia, of stagnancy in this connection, but there's going to be a new energy coming in here. And I'm hearing you'll feel it before you see it. So most likely, if this part of the message is for you, you've already been feeling this strange feeling of like momentum when it comes to this person. You've been feeling pulled back into them. You've been sensing on some level that, well, really, you've been sensing that this potential reunion timeline is opening up between the two of you that quite literally was not accessible in the past. Now, of course, this may bring up feelings of internal conflict to some degree within you with the Eight of Swords, because you may feel like, well, which way do I go with this? Like, I feel like my hands are tied here. I know there's a deep spiritual connection with this person. I'm feeling pulled back into them, but I don't know if I should choose this pathway or choose this other more unknown pathway that I've also been sensing opening up, again, connecting with potentially this romantic soulmate that we've been describing, whether it's someone you know recently or someone coming into your life who's offering you this immediate, gentle, grounded, supportive connection without the intense history that you have with this person. Now, if you are feeling that sense of internal conflict, there is a general message coming in from your guides. Well, there's a couple different messages. One is you don't have to rush a decision or make a decision before you're ready. I'm going to reshuffle the cards here to channel into this a bit more deeply. But a major message coming through is not only do you not have to rush this, but not to rush this, that your intuition is attuned not just to answers, but also to the timing of answers. So if the yes doesn't come to you immediately, that doesn't mean it's a no necessarily. It may be a timing thing. So trust your intuition's timing. If you're feeling unsure, again, that may not be a permanent no. It could just be not now, or let yourself sit with this for a while. Let yourself feel into this. Be gentle with yourself through this process. There's no rush here. I'm also getting another message that there's something about the word unconventional when it comes to these connections. Like, I feel there is a very warm, deep presence spiritually beneath both of these connections that isn't going anywhere. There's very much it's like a stable glow from a light, from a candle. And what I'm picking up on here is, don't make a decision out of fear of losing one of these individuals, because I really feel both of these connections have a lot of room to progress in unconventional ways, or maybe even in ways like there may be solutions or pathways forward here that you may not have fully even allowed yourself to consider here, or that may be brought up for your consideration in the future. So what I'm getting is, for example, you may be able to maintain one of these connections as a deep soul friendship, or something that's very warm and beautiful and has a lot of longevity, but isn't necessarily defined in a conventional romantic relationship sense. And I feel like these are both individuals who have such a protective, supportive soul bond with you on a spiritual level that they would really want to be in your life in any capacity. That's the other beautiful thing here. The feeling I get from this person from your past returning, but also this new energy, is that they both really want to be in your life, no matter the circumstances, no matter how it's defined. Yes, I do feel that both of these energies ultimately would prefer to have something romantic with you, but there's also this deeper soul understanding between the two of you in both of these cases that really transcends the need to be defined in conventional terms. Both of these connections feel very absent of control. Like, they both seem to say to me, I don't want to control you. I don't want to rush you. I just want to love you. That's really what I'm sensing. I'm also getting a message about standing your ground when it comes to listening to your intuition, not giving in to pressures, either externally or internally, from either society, your family, friends, expectations of others, maybe expectations of your past self. Ooh, that's a strong one coming in too. Like, don't let the dreams you had in a former version of yourself dictate the decisions you make in this current version of yourself. Because there may be certain things that you desired in the past that you've outgrown to some degree. Yes, those were desires of your past, but as you've evolved, your desires have evolved along with you. So in the past, you may have, for example, wanted a relationship with this past person that looked a very specific way. And the message here is not to make decisions from a past version of your dreams, because your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, your vision for your life has evolved with you. And so whatever choice you make, allow it to be made from this current, most up-to-date and evolved version of you. And again, just don't rush yourself here with the Four of Swords in the reverse position. With the Seven of Cups, it really feels like you're opening up to a time where you have unlimited potential options, pathways, ways that you could move forward in your life. And you're just beginning to get a taste of this, but I feel that it's going to begin opening up more and more. I feel like this is really about fully allowing yourself to experience, to explore what you desire, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel lit up when it comes to the way you live your life, the way you progress, the balance of your life, your lifestyle, your work, your relationships, your romance. I'm hearing like this is a time of really allowing yourself to be open to exploring what lights you up, and then holding that standard, holding your ground on that. Because really the world is your oyster here, is what I'm getting. Don't limit yourself. I know this has been such an odd message. I'm really surprised by the direction of this reading, but I feel we've been connecting with a very specific collective. So if this has been for you and you'd like to continue on with me to the extended version of this reading, I will be continuing on with this channeling there. So the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. You can listen either on Patreon or on YouTube memberships. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and close this first part of the reading here. You can follow me on Instagram at @magnetizeyourself. And I would also love if you wanted to follow my music. I create channeled songs based on threads of energy that come through these readings under my artist name, Songs by Infinity. And the link to follow me on Spotify is in the description box under this video. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close things out here. Let me know in the comments if anything connected for you personally. Otherwise, have an amazing rest of your day and weekend, and I will connect with you here again in Monday's collective reading.